What's up?
Welcome back to another episode of A Couple Conversations. We are a couple and we have conversations for a couple of people. Um, this is a little bit different. We're not in our typical setting. We are on a ship on the Disney Wish.
This past week, I brought Jinji onto this family vacation to meet my family.
Hmm.
So we are going to talk about that as an experience, and then also the deeper implications as to what it means when people meet each other's family, and um, and I guess why it could be such a big deal for some people, and why it wasn't really a big deal for me. So yeah, so here we go. So Jinji,
Yes, darling.
you met my family. Leading into this experience, um, what was on your mind?
What was on my mind? Leading into this experience, I, of course, wanted to make a good impression. I was excited. I was very excited to meet your family and very excited to continue our travels together. We're going on another trip together, and that is special to me. Like, or now speaking in not in present, past tense, we've gone on another trip together, and that is something that is special to me. Every time we travel together, I feel like I get to know more about you, more about myself, more about the world, and this trip is no exception to that. That has been very much the case.
Mm,
And on top of that, I was able to meet your family.
mm,
Of course, there are some moments. I feel like for myself, I was never really nervous about it. And then the people who knew that I was going to meet your family were like, "Oh, are you nervous? Are you nervous? Are you nervous?" And I kept getting that question, and I was like, "Dang, should I be nervous?" But I never initially did not feel nervous. I was
mhm,
just very excited.
I guess that brings up a good question as to like why people would feel nervous to meet their significant other's family. And I guess a lot of that's like societal implications. And then I can also see where if you don't know yourself very well, then you would be maybe nervous to meet
Hmm.
family members. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I met your family, I wasn't nervous. I've never
Yeah.
been nervous
Yeah.
when it came to doing that. Anyway, so all right, so why do you feel it was important to meet them?
I feel like it was important to meet them. One, because I wanted to meet them. Two, in regards to, your rule of selfishness, it's beneficial for me in knowing more about you and the person that I am looking to build my life with, to know your family, know where you come from, learn more about you and the people that love you and created you. That's very important and good for me. And so then it's good for the relationship because it brings us closer together, because now I know more about what makes you tick, more about how you are with your nieces and nephews, your parents, things like that. I feel like that's valuable to me. And then for you, there's just the people that you love, more the people that you love loving each other and surrounding each other. And I think that that's good for you as well. So it's important because I want them to know me. They, I think, wanted to know me. You perhaps wanted me to know them. And it's good for our relationship in terms of building our family unit.
Was it easy?
I think so. It was easier than I thought it was going to be. And I didn't think that it was going to be difficult. It was pretty seamless. It was pretty fluid and natural, and yeah,
Mm,
it was quite pleasant.
okay. Okay, so what did you learn about how I interact with let's just say specifically my nieces and nephews?
Mm. I think that you're very tender, you're sweet and goofy. And I mean, you are naturally goofy, but in a different way. Like, I haven't seen you interact with children as much as I
Mm,
was able to on this trip. And so, seeing you interact with children that you already love and care for and have established a relationship with is a different and special thing, especially when it comes to, oh, this is the man that I am planning on having my children with. How does he treat children? You know, how does he interact with children? How does he guide and educate children? How is he patient with children? And how does he show affection to children? And I got to see all of that.
I have a question. Can you take videos on that?
Yeah,
Wow, your camera's amazing.
yeah, it is.
Have it when you're out there.
I'm taking a video right now. Look at Lonnie.
And I was very pleased.
Very pleased. Very pleased. Were you able to see, or did you recognize any contrast in my personality in dealing with children versus when I'm not?
That's a good question. Contrast. I feel like there is a good comfort in being able to witness that you are the same person that you are with me and with others and in public and in private that you are with your nieces and nephew. I didn't see someone I've never met before, but I saw more of you. I saw more of you that I've never met before, but I did not see like a completely different person. You didn't turn into someone else.
Mm,
So it was comforting to know that you are truly who you've presented, but I got to see a more tender, playful, goofy side. Like, you're extremely patient, but the way that you're patient with the kids, the way that you redirect the kids, like the way that you give them your camera to run away on a giant ship with,
mhm.
and you're like, "Yeah, go, baby." Yeah, it's like,
Here's my livelihood. Have
yeah,
fun.
yeah. It's
Hmm.
like, it's you wouldn't do that with like some, I don't know, 30 something. I, I don't know. You know,
Right.
it's different. So that's different, but you aren't. I just was able to see more of you.
Oh, that's cool. All right, now ask me a question.
Well, I wonder, what was that experience like for you? Me meeting your immediate and like your, I don't know, arguably the closest members of your family, like that you're closest to. What was that like for you? Me meeting them.
Um, well, like I said, I I was never nervous meeting your family or somebody else's family from my past. Like it just wasn't really there that I remember. But when it came to when it's the shoes on the other foot, right? You meeting my family, I know my family, right? And I know my family enough, and I know you enough that I already knew what was going to happen prior to us coming to this ship. I knew that you were going to mesh well. I knew that the kids were going to enjoy your presence. I knew you were going to enjoy the presence of the kids. I knew that my parents were going to welcome you and show you patience and and in a lot of ways affection. And then and I knew the opposite. I knew you were going to have a lot of questions in between, like, oh, just questions, right? Just boundary type questions, which is understandable. But in in no way did I ever feel pressured to say, hey, you should do this or you shouldn't do that. Or it's just,
Make a video.
the
I'm
same
making a
way
video.
I not allowed, I encourage you to be yourself with me. I didn't constrain you or forewarn them or constrain them. I just allowed everybody to be themselves. I already had it calculated. I already knew that it was going to be fine. Um, so yeah, and I know you like to chit chat. My mom likes to chit chat. So you're always just going to sit there and chit chat. It was easy. Easy.
Mm-hmm. Did you learn anything new about me from this trip?
Anything new about you? Learn anything new? No.
Hmm.
No. Because like I said, I encourage you to be yourself. So and I've already that's not to say that there's nothing new to learn about you, but this trip, I think because I already knew all of the other parties involved, that I already knew how you would be, you know, with them and how they would be with you. So, no, that's not to say that I couldn't have learned something new, but now that we've lived the experience and I'm thinking back, now that you're asking, no, I don't. I think, you were same old Jinji. Right, and it makes sense though, right? Because if I'm sitting there throughout the entirety of us being together, throughout the entirety of our partnership thus far, I've encouraged you to be yourself and only yourself. Why would I, you would only ever be yourself in the other environments.
Yeah.
So, but and vice versa, right? You said you didn't see a new version of me. You just saw, just more of me in a different space. Same thing. I practice what I preach.
Mm-hmm.
So I was myself, and you saw more of myself, and the same thing. So as long as you keep that vibe going, there's nothing to be nervous about.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be, have anxiety about. Now, then let's shift the focus. Now,
Okay.
some of you out there, you fake ass fucking just need help all over the place, don't know yourselves, don't know your partners. Um, y'all y'all get nervous meeting family members and placing your anxieties um, into inserting that question like you said in the beginning, are you nervous, are you nervous about it? It's like just know that that question comes from a place within yourself where you may be nervous. So
Mm.
ask yourself if you were truly confident in the representation of yourself or representation of who it is that you're trying to be or wanting to be or growing to be. And if you are truly that, if you are truly deserving of the you that you are wanting to be,
Mm-hmm.
if you if the version of the you that you are wanting to be is as magnificent as you would like, then that question would not be imposed onto another person because that question wouldn't even come to you. Why? Because it's not something that you would be worried about for yourself. So why would you be worried about it for somebody else? So just keep that in mind. We live in this, I want to say like this community of energy, but it's really a cesspool. It's a cesspool of unknowing, of an unlearned version of how to be yourself. And we
Mm.
very easily can create and be a part of a cog in a larger machine of 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 poor feelings, of poor misrepresentation of self, and haphazardly put that onto another person by way of a very, very simple question. Are you nervous? And then you ask yourself, should I be nervous?
Hmm.
And for some people who don't know themselves, that might be enough of a seed to grow into a plant that actually does bear fruit, but not the fruit that
Hmm.
you want to eat.
Mm.
So
That's poetic.
keep your fucking questions to yourselves.
Or ask, but then I sit and wonder, because luckily that was confirmation for me that I was like, I mean, I'm excited. I don't think I need to be worried. you know, what do I have to be worried about? You know, so that shows me that I'm confident in myself and more of in a space of like, you know, they're gonna like me or they're not gonna like me. But I never felt that in the direction of your family, but as a way to operate or walk through life. You know, I'm not sitting here like, oh, I'm worried, da da da. Of course, I want to make a good impression, but I'm not stressed about being myself. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and then I sit and wonder, like you asked, why are they worried for someone else? Like, why are they asking, are you worried? If that's coming from within, what are they worrying about and projecting onto that other person?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's interesting.
Yeah. Look, bottom line is this. The whole concept of us having these conversations is to build foundation, not for us. Just get this straight. It's not for us to build foundation of what a family unit is supposed to be and look like for us. This these conversations that we host in front of this camera here for whomever it is that's going to stumble upon it is is for whomever is going to stumble upon it. We have a majority of our conversations outside of this. Meeting a family is important for a myriad of ways in building your family unit, because just as much as you can take from having a healthy relationship with your significant others, with your partner's family, you on the opposite end of things, it's also true. The lack of relationship can either hurt or help your relationship. Just because you share blood and you share family does not mean that you have this forever past to be in one's life. It's just not it. When it comes to building a family unit and being very, very intentional about it, it's strategy. This is the game of life is not one to be played haphazardly. You gotta plan. You gotta be smart. And the thing is that it's really not that hard. It's not that hard. The hard part is getting outside of yourself, getting outside of your own feelings to see what's truly written on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing. So couple conversations is just that. The building of a family unit and why it's important. That's why before we came onto this ship and this, we were in the planning phases of this. Jinji had brought it up to me. She's like, thank you for bringing me, on this trip. And I was like, what the fuck else was I supposed to do? What do you mean? And she's like, well, you could have just went on your family vacation with your family and just said, hey, I'll be back later. And then I'm like, oh wow, that's actually kind of true. Like I could have done that, but in my journey to build a family unit, that didn't occur to me because why would I? That wouldn't bring us closer to that goal. And then Jinji also said, you could have also said, hey, you can come, but you got to pay your own way. And that to me again didn't even come to my mind because I'm like, that's not the unit that am I'm building. That's not the structure that's in my sight, my view, my vision. So that didn't even occur to me. I needed her to meet my family, and if I'm taking her away from whatever else she could be doing in that time, then in a sense, this might not be the right word, but she needs to be compensated. She needs to be taken care of. She needs to make sure that there's no stress involved. So it's my responsibility. That's it. That's the family unit. It's riddled in every single intentional discussion, every intentional question, every intentional answer, every intentional decision. That's it. And then what do? We build that structure. It becomes a almost like a totem, an anchor that we are living representations of. So when we spawn our own children into this world, they're going to have living representations of what it is that they need to do, need to be, and they will be because they will be of us, whether they like it or not. They will be that, not by way of our force. No, we're just going to be such damn good representations of that they're going to be that besides their own human habits that would take them away. This is what it is. And if they're not, and if you're watching this, if you're not, then so be it. You weren't meant to be it anyway. You didn't choose it for yourself, so we can't choose it for you. No. It's very important. Aboard this boat.
Ship.
Yeah, ship. That lady. It's like, no, really? Thanks.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
You said it. You said it.
Anyway, so we're gonna riddle this entire video with just, I don't know, B-roll and pictures of the family, of our experience together here and there. It's not about the ship. It's just gonna be riddled so you guys can just see some of the interactions and whatnot. But
It's about us and about the message. You said so eloquently. I got to sit back and just enjoy. So I appreciate that.
you're welcome.
And not even just the boat experience, but listening to your encapsulating delivery.
Yeah, there's a rhyme to the reason.
Yeah.
All right, this has been another episode of A Couple Conversations coming to you live, not live.
I was thinking the same thing.
Coming to you not live from this Disney Wish cruise, the boat ride. This boat ride. Thank you for tuning in once again. I am Tafik. This is Jinji. We are a couple having a couple conversations for a couple of people. Goodbye.
Goodbye.